If you're hearing this, we want to welcome you to another episode of It's a Streamable Live podcast with Brandon and Lorin. We are winding down through November, getting closer to the holiday season. So the uh, news-wise, things aren't really jumping up too much. Like there's stuff
Yeah, it's
happening, but not really
yeah.
entertainment related. But how has your week been?
Pretty good. Had a good weekend of just kind of relaxing. The weather was up and down, but yeah.
Yeah,
But no, it was good. It was very relaxing. How about you?
same. The weather was sort of out of
Yeah,
whack, but that's Indiana for you all the time.
yeah,
But like I said, as the year winds down, like usually the news cycle is kind of
right.
slow, which we can kind of go into our headlines and show that. um, some points made. Mad Men, the AMC Emmy-winning series, is coming to HBO Max December 1st, and I've never watched. And this year
Yeah.
marked 10 years, 20.
No. Oh, since the end, I think it was like something like that. But
Okay, yeah.
this would have been like 20 years since it aired. I think it's aired in 2025 or 2005.
Okay, yeah. So I think it was the
Yeah.
10 years since the finale because they
Right.
had John Hamm and John Slattery at the ATX TV Festival with Noah Hawley to discuss the end of the anniversary of the finale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it got me thinking, maybe I should watch this show because everyone
Yeah.
heralds it and whatnot. So there would definitely be a chance to rewatch it now. Um, Other news: Apple TV's Monarch Legacy of Monsters will return in February. This was sort of like a niche genre show that kind of struck a chord with audiences. It's based in the Godzilla universe,
Yeah.
and does some time traveling, but it was really good. Kind of a star cast with Anna Sawa and both Kurt and Wyatt Russell playing the same character but in different times. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, comes back February 27th. So we haven't watched the first season. I think it was just 10 episodes, but it's kind of campy, but they do a really good job in the I think the special effects, especially with all the monsters they have to create and whatnot.
Yeah. That's cool.
And then finally, some movie kind of news. The film Christie came out recently, starring Sydney Sweeney, and I guess there's been a lot of discussion on why it flopped so bad.
Yeah. To be honest, for me, I heard about this film, I guess, right after it was picked up because like pictures leaked of Sydney Sweeney looking you know, like she had
Buff.
muscle, and that was
Yeah,
it. But I didn't really see too much marketing. I.
right. I
Yeah,
figured it was like an indie film. It would go to certain
right.
theaters and cities and whatnot. Um, I don't know why people are up such an uproar about it not succeeding.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Um,
that it was supposed to be a blockbuster or something. I don't. Yeah,
And I think part of the conversation is that people think Sydney is like the rising Hollywood starlet when she doesn't really have that much
no,
drawing power at the box office.
not
So,
at all. Yeah,
and that started up a whole thing because people started looking at her politics from her interviews and stuff like that. So it's just a whole
yeah,
cyclone around her that's not good for the movie or her
yeah.
career in general. But I just thought that was fascinating because I definitely didn't think it was supposed to be number one or
No, not at all.
anything like that. So it's just kind of weird. Like I said, boring news cycle. Um, and then the same old people fighting AI,
Yeah,
um, mergers here and there. Warner Brothers Discovery is still up for sale. Netflix wants to put in a bid, but they're afraid of antitrust uh, warnings. Because if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, that's just too much owned by
yeah,
one person in the market. Like that's a lot of content owned by one company. But it's what's happening now. Like they've got the free range. There's no real regulations against it now, so people are doing
mm,
what they want to do.
right.
All right, so we'll just cascade to our future presentation, and we'll spend a little bit of time here since we are talking about a potential Oscar contender. It is award season, so we're gonna start talking about our Oscar-worthy film performances, directors, writers, things of that nature in the next few episodes. And first up is Netflix's Frankenstein. This is Guillermo del Toro's interpretation of Mary Shelley's iconic novel that's been adapted millions of times.
Right.
There's at least two other adaptations this year of the
That's
same
crazy.
story, which is wild. Yeah, they all must have been had that on the brain or something. But this version starred Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein. You had Jacob Elordi as the monster.
Yeah.
Um, what's her name? Mia.
Yeah, I can never say her. No, that's Mia Goth. That's Mia Goth.
Mia Goth. Yeah, she
Yeah.
played. I forget what her name was. She played the brother's wife.
Right.
You have Christoph Waltz in there, so kind of like a
It was a
star-studded
good cast.
cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, it's telling the story of the monster and his creator. It took some different liberties with this version. We got saw the perspective from the doctor's side, and
Hmm.
then some of the story from the monster side. So altogether, what did you think of the film as a whole?
I enjoyed it. I really did. Um, Guillermo del Toro has a good style and everything, and I, I think his films are made better by the fact that he's such a horror fan. He really takes time with doing it. But yeah, I thought it was good. Good storytelling. I did think it was kind of long in parts, and I was just like, this doesn't really need to be in here. And um, but yeah, it was a good film.
Yeah, I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was kind of long in some parts. Um, I thought it looked great. A lot of the
Yeah. Oh
graphics,
yeah.
the setting, the cinematography were really good. I wasn't expecting that sort of perspective, sort of like a flash
Yeah.
forward and them like telling their own story. I just thought we'd be like in the thing. It wasn't too surprising
Right.
story wise. I mean, there were some liberties, but not a lot
Not a lot. Yeah.
that was
It'd stay pretty
unpredictable.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy Jacob Elordi. I thought he was really good.
Yeah. He was incredible.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is one of his best roles because people kind of boxed him in as just sort of like the crazy teen.
Right. Exactly.
So he's starting to branch out a bit from that Euphoria, Saltburn type of persona. But I thought he was really good in this. Um, yeah, I gave it a solid B. It wasn't really anything wrong with it.
Yeah. I think that's a good grade for it. Yeah.
And I would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't Flash and Black off and on. I don't know what that was. Like I read
Yeah.
the Reddit threads and like some people said they experienced the same thing. And like it didn't do it on my iPad, so I had to watch the rest of the film there.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
noticed it early on, but it was only like certain scenes. It was like, oh, that must have been some sort of a technique. And then that lightning rod scene, it was like
Yeah.
that I was like, okay, something's really up here.
Yeah, when you explained it to me, I was like, damn, did it? I had to go back and think for myself, like, did the movie do that? But no, that was definitely your
Yeah.
TV.
And it's not like the sound went out or anything. It just went black and went. So it
Hmm,
was really kind of
that's
weird.
weird.
So Frankenstein is obviously one of the contenders for the Oscars this year. Released right in sort of like that Oscar bait window near the end of the year. So according to Variety, this is where we're going to be pulling some of this information. It's just one of the best film contenders, and you can have up to 10 nominations now, which I still think is a lot
It is.
for Best Picture, but they're trying to be inclusive and whatnot. So, uh, uh, according to Variety's tracking as of November 13th, your big contenders right now are Avatar: Fire and Ash, which I believe drops later this month, I think,
Okay.
which is James Cameron's continuation of racism with aliens. Frankenstein, you have Chloe Zhao's Hamnet. Am I saying that
Yeah.
right? Hamnet?
Hamnet.
Hamnet, which has
Yeah.
gotten a lot of buzz,
Yeah.
especially for its performances. It was just an accident, which is sort of like the dark comedy set, and I think set in Gaza. It was from Palestinian
Mm.
filmmakers, so that could shake it up a bit. Jay Kelly from the one guy, Noah.
Baumbach.
Yes, and this
Yeah.
stars George Clooney and Adam Sandler, which is kind of a different
Mm.
pairing. You have Marty Supreme, which stars
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet, the tennis story, which the trailer was pretty interesting. I'm kind of interested in that.
Yeah.
Variety has One Battle After Another as the most likely to win. This is Paul Wes
Yeah.
Anderson's sort of revolutionary, I don't know, action thriller, comedy, satire type thing. And I've heard divided discussions about it. I've heard that it's really good, and I've heard that it's not quite as good as people think.
Yeah. Hmm.
Sentimental Value, which I just
Yeah.
heard of recently, is getting a lot of. That's with one of the Scars guards, right?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you which one. I think it's
I think it's the dad. I
it's the
think,
dad. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Stellan. Of course, Sinners from Ryan Coogler,
Yes.
and then John Cho, not John Cho's, John M. Chu's Wicked for Good, the
Yeah.
Wicked sequel, which comes out this week. So I've only seen two so far of the films. I know a lot of them will be coming to streaming, to rent, and stuff like that pretty soon. So that'll be a way to see the other
Yeah.
ones. I think One Battle After Another is able to rent this week on certain
Okay.
platforms. Um, I'm rooting for Sinners. I don't know if we'll get Best Picture, but that's been my favorite experience
Yeah.
in the theater this year.
Yeah. I don't think it will win this, unfortunately. But I'm trying to think who will win. Yeah. You kind of have to go with one battle after another. From what I've heard about it, it's one of those movies. It's up there
Hmm.
with
Yeah,
soon to be a cult film. So
yeah. Yeah, I think that would be a good front runner. I doubt Avatar
nah.
budges the needle. Um, I don't know what else. I haven't seen anything else. I'm not sure what they could surprise us and pick. It was just an accident to appear liberal,
We'll see.
if you
Yeah, we'll
will, but
see.
I'm sure that will cause a lot of controversy, just
Oh yeah.
given the political climate around all that and everything. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And throughout the episodes leading up to the Oscars, we'll be discussing the different categories: director, actor, actress, things of that nature. So,
Yeah.
and the Oscars are set for. I should say here somewhere.
They usually in
They're
what?
usually in March, but I don't see a date.
Hold on. March 15th, Sunday, March 15th.
Okay, so that's when they'll be coming. So we'll be talking about the race up until then.
Yep.
All right. Now we'll go ahead and get to our streams of the week. So we both watched Frankenstein, and we both enjoyed Netflix's The Vince Staples Show season two. Short series, sort of like a dark comedy, kind of based on the rapper's life, pseudo kind of semi
Yeah.
autobiographical. Hints of like Atlanta and surrealism and stuff like that. What did you think of the second season?
I enjoyed it. It's kind of one of those shows where if you were to read its description, I would imagine the word like irreverent is in there because like it really doesn't have a point. It's telling a story, but very
Mm-hmm.
loosely and in an abstract way. But it's fun, it's enjoyable, very funny. A lot of good takes on society now and all that, and um, where other things could go. And I don't know. I guess I didn't realize in the first season that his uncle was OJ, unless they never alluded
Right.
to it.
I don't think they did. They just said like he had a lot of money.
Right, right.
And like he got fortune, but they didn't say how.
Right. And so then when you find out it's OJ, it's like, hold on a second. Wait, like that's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah,
I
that was
also thought it was
funny.
still very funny, but yeah, it was decent. I thought it was good.
Yeah, this season had more of like a linear sort of narrative,
Hmm.
whereas the first one kind of everywhere, and then the family became like sort of like a
Right.
stream through. This definitely followed more of like a normal
Structure, yeah.
structure. So you had him like preparing for his uncle's funeral and all that. That's basically what this season is like, just
Right.
trying to get through this. And kudos to Vanessa Bell Calloway because she was hilarious
Oh
as
yeah.
his mother. Like she steals every scene, the way they bicker back and forth.
Right.
It was really good. Um, Only episode I was kind of iffy on was like the antisocial club thing.
Yeah.
That was kind of like hit and miss there.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that one. I didn't see the point of it. Like I was like, what?
Yeah, I was
What?
like, why
Like,
is he here? Like,
right?
because his uncle was a member. Like some of the gaps were good, but then once it got to like the murder of the manager, I was like, okay,
What? Yeah,
what's
what's
really
going on?
happening?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only episode I was kind of on. But yeah, everything else was funny. I don't know if it'll get renewed again. I
guess
it's
we'll
kind
see.
of like lightning striking twice, but if it does, I mean, I'll be able to I'll be there to watch it because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, and then it looks like you got into another movie, Honey Don't. That's on HBO Max too, right?
I believe so. I think that's what I watched it on. Oh wait, no, no, no. I watched this on Peacock, but it may be on
Okay,
HBO Max. I'm not sure. But
okay.
this I need to find who did it. Oh, this is the film starring Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Evans, and Charlie Day, and it is about uh, this woman, Margaret Qualley, who is a private eye and is kind of investigating these murders around this weird Scientology type church that's led by Chris Hansen, Jesus, Chris Evans, and so yeah, she goes into that. You see the inner workings of her life. She's also kind of like this uh, sleazy womanizer too. Then that comes in. That's where she meets Aubrey Plaza. But the story itself, yeah, just focuses on her and this church, and there's a lot of humor. There's some good action in it, and it, I don't think it's trying to break the mold or be something different, but it's a good film just to kind of like pass the time. But there's some things that are so weird. For some reason, Margaret Qualley has like the cadence of like a 1940s noir actor in this film. It's so weird, and I don't know why they chose that. It's so distracting because like she does not sound like that. But
Right. Hmm.
yeah, it was very very weird. But yeah, the film, I thought it was decent, but towards the end it just kind of trails off. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I heard some buzz around it, so I'll definitely try to check it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. I caught up on some shows. I uh still watching Welcome to Derry.
Okay.
Episode 3 was I think one of the weaker episodes of the season, but this most recent episode 4 kind of picked it back up horror wise, story wise. And we're at the midway point. I guess there's 8 episodes, I think. So it's going pretty good. It's still pretty gruesome. They're killing kids almost every episode. So
Damn.
yeah, Stephen King is kind of crazy. Um, and then Apple TV's Pluribus is still going on. I think episode 3 came out last week.
Okay.
This is from Vince Gilligan, who did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. A woman sort of tries to survive a world where the majority of the population is a hive mind after a virus strikes the Earth from outer space, and they're trying to. The goal is to like make her happy so she'll eventually join them, but of course
Yeah.
she's averse to this. So it's really interesting. It's sort of like a mix of genres, sci-fi with drama, comedy, but it's really good. Episode 3 may have been like a lighter episode, but it's one of the better shows out there right now.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot about it, so I need to get into it.
Yeah. New episodes drop every Friday. And then Netflix's The Beast in Me.
Hmm.
Binge all 8 episodes of that. You have Claire Danes as a author who's grieving a tragic loss, and she decides her next book is going to be about her next door neighbor, played by Matthew Rhys, who was never charged but was accused in his wife's disappearance. So it's sort of
Well,
like a cat and mouse thriller. She's wanting to write the book about him so he can tell his side of the story, while she's also wondering if he's a killer or not. Really good cast. Um, it's by the people that did Homeland, so the writing's really good. It's a taut, nice thriller, so you could definitely finish it like in 2 days if you wanted to.
Okay. Hmm.
But it was really solid.
Right.
And then with the weeks coming up, and with the holidays coming up, Stranger Things is going to come in next week, probably
Yep.
burst open the floodgates of ratings and whatnot. Um, the final season of Bel Air is also next week, so we'll see how that
Yeah.
wraps
Okay.
up. But yes, and then we'll get into December, and that's the end of the year. So stay tuned, like I said, for our Oscar talk. And then we'll also be coming to you with our best of list. So we'll have a best of film of the year
Yeah.
as well as best of TV shows by the end of the year. Kind of a shorter episode, but
Hey.
that's okay. Not a lot going on.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about in the coming weeks. So until then, keep on streaming.
Peace.